Hello guys, my name is Bjarno. Today I'm going to show you a little bit about Redstone. There are a lot of tutorials about Redstone on YouTube, but most of the times they're not really clear or too difficult to understand. So this guide will show you exactly how Redstone works, even if you have never used Redstone before. First thing I'm going to talk about is the output of Redstone. So Redstone can actually output a lot of things. Now in this example, I've connected a button to a door, an iron door to be exactly, with some redstone. So when I press this button, it will send power to the redstone right to this door. So when I press this button, voila, the door opens and closes back again. The same happens with redstone lamps. Please note that I'm not going to show you the custom recipes. They are on the wiki, so you should check them out for more information. If you like golden apples, at least I do, you're going to like it if you press this button. It will just give you a golden apple. You can also connect pistons to redstone. Actually, it's obvious because there is nothing else you can control a piston with except with redstone. So the diamond block will go up and down. And finally, you can also use it to fire TNT. It's really useful in TNT cannons actually. Whoa. I'm happy there was water right there. Okay, so yeah, we've seen buttons like this. But buttons are not always funny because yeah, every time you press it, it goes off a few moments later. So we have some levers as well. These are the inputs. So a lever doesn't go back to its original state. It's really useful for turning off and on the lights. Now next we got pressure plates. And you see here a stone pressure plate and a wooden pressure plate. And the first one you can walk on this one, and I can walk on this one. But there is a main difference between these two. For example, I can throw a lever on this one and it will turn on. But when I throw a lever on this one, it will not do anything at all. So that's how this works. And last but not least, in the latest update, they've also included some tripwire. And tripwire is really useful when creating traps because you can't see it actually. Unless you've got your cursor right over it, you don't see it at all. Okay, you see this stuff, but you can hide it really easy. So now I go up and on this, and the redstone lamp will go on and off. Now, there is another thing you need to know about redstone, and that is that redstone only goes 15 blocks. So after 16 blocks, it will turn off like it's not even powered yet. If you want to fix this, you can place a redstone repeater, just like I did here. So here it is the 15 block, and here's another source block. So this is again the first, the second, the third, and so on. That can actually go infinite, but that's not a good idea. So repeaters can also be used to create delays or power blocks, like here. You don't have to place a redstone here. You can also use a repeater. It's not really a good idea to use it for just power a block, except when you really need it. And sometimes it's really useful. You can also change the delay of a redstone repeater, like I do here. You see there is a little delay between the time I press this button and the light goes on. Now, you can also place repeaters after repeaters after repeaters and so on. So when I press this button, it will take a long time until this lamp goes on and off. Now, we talked a little bit about redstone, the inputs, the outputs, redstone repeaters, stuff like that. But you can't do really much with redstone if you only use these. So you need some gates. And the first gate I'm going to show you is the NOT gate. And actually the only thing it does is inverting the signal, and it really comes in handy. As you can see here, when I press this button, this torch will turn off. Of course not for a long time, because it's a button. And then it will unpower this redstone lamp. So it doesn't take long actually. It's a button. Of course, you need to know that you need to place a redstone power to a block and then a redstone torch, because now it's always powered. Like you can see here, it's not really working. Now you can also place torches on top, but you can also place them down, at the sides of a block. So this works exactly the same as the previous one, except that it is a little, except that this one is a lot higher. Actually it's just one block, but it's higher than this example. Please note that redstone depends on the direction you place it. For example, this doesn't work. It will not invert its signal actually, just as you can see here. So it's not inverted, but if you place one here, it gets inverted, because it's pointing to the torch. So this doesn't really work. Now, next is the OR gate, and the OR gate is really useful, because when either of these levers is turned on, the redstone lamp is turned on as well. Even if both are turned on or just one, but if none of them are turned on, the redstone lamp goes out. Next, this is the same, but it's a little different. The main difference between these two is that when you turn on this lever, the current will also go to the other lever. It's not going to do anything, but it can sometimes be useful if you place another mechanism here and you don't want to interfere this signal with the other one. If you're wondering why these signs are empty, it's because there is a bug in Minecraft. So right now I'm using the latest snapshot, and there is a bug. Signs aren't saved in both single player and multiplayer. It's really frustrating because I placed a lot of signs in the beginning, and yeah, it took some work for me, but yeah, going on. So here we got our R, here is another R and OR, and you can see that this time the signal doesn't go to the other side, and at the same side as well. It's because the redstone current turns off or on this torch. So if any of these signals turns on, this one turns off, and then it just gets inverted back again. So here is another one, but this one is working with redstone repeaters. It's a little smaller than the previous one, but the previous one was used before redstone repeaters were added in the game. So here is it working again. Really simple build. Again, I repeat, the red crafting recipes are on the wiki. I'm not going to show them. So here's our other gate. It's a NOR gate, and actually it's OR and then a NOT gate. So it's the same, but it's inverted. So if both of these are off, the signal is on. But if any of these are on, the signal gets off. So it's getting light time, so we'll make it day again. So it's really useful. Now, redstone is also quite flexible, so I can place a block here, some redstone here, and then place a lever here, and it will do exactly the same. So you can also skip this thing, and you've got two next to each other. So redstone is really flexible, as you can see here. Now the next gate is the AND gate, and the AND gate is to check if both top levers are on. So as you can see here, redstone lamp only goes on if both these redstone lines are on. And actually it's really simple, because it's right, this thing is actually an inverter, a NOT gate, and this is an OR gate that gets inverted again. So this is actually an AND gate. Of course, this is a double AND gate. This is a triple one. So it works exactly the same. Invert, 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 or invert. So this redstone lamp will only go on if all these levers are on. So right now, just one, that one is on. Now this one is on too, and this one too. And here you go. The redstone lamp is glowing as it is glowstone. And this is the same with a NAND gate, and it works exactly like an AND gate, but it's not inverted at the end. As you can see here. I've never seen anyone using a NAND gate before, but it can come in handy, really. Now next is actually a XOR gate. And XOR gates will only turn on if both signals are not the same. So now they are the same, but when I change one, it will turn on. I'll do this one again, it will turn off. So it's really useful because you can place this one inside your house, and you can place this one outside your house. And if you connect this one to a door, you can control the door on either side of your house, so both inside and outside. It's really useful. I've used it a lot of times, and yeah, came in handy then. Now let's see something else, like the memory cells. And I've created a few examples of a memory cell. I'm going to start with this one. Actually, how it works is that when I press on when I step on this wooden pressure plate, the signal goes on, and then it will power itself. So the redstone signal will go through this block and will actually power itself. Really useful. Here it is again, but a little smaller. And this time it will not use a block, but it will still power itself. Like this. It's really useful. If you want to reset it, you need to destroy this one. And then you can place it back again. And it doesn't care which direction you place it, as long as you don't try to place it like this. Because now it's not powered here. So redstone repeats always work in one direction. You can change it here if you want. Now, if you don't want the beep reset it by going into your redstone itself, you can create a reset function. And that's what I have created here. So this piston, it's a sticky piston, is connected to this block. So when I step on this one, the block is pulled away from the redstone signal, and the repeater doesn't make itself on again. Press down on it, it just gets its memory cell and reset it. It's really easy. There are also other ways of making memory cells, but these are the most easiest. Another thing you need to know about redstone is that redstone is not working through glass. So there's a lamp, and when I turn on this signal, you can see it's not turning on because there's air right there. But when I place a stone block, for example, and turn it on again, it goes off. But yeah, you get the point. But when I do the same with glass, it isn't going through the glass actually. So there are also other blocks instead of glass, but most of the times redstone will go through the block. I'm not going to say the entire list, but glass is the most easiest block to use with this one. Next up is RS NOR latch. Actually, it seems a little complex to build. It is actually, but it's also a little big. But when you never used redstone before, it's the easiest way to build it. So what it actually does is that every time I press this button, the redstone lamp will invert its signal. So I can press it again, off, on. You can use it to change buttons to levers, levers to buttons, but most of the times lever is the most easiest way to do this. But sometimes you need to use something like this. And yeah, You can use it to create a light switch instead of a lever. You can use a button, stuff like that. So that's how that one works. Now next are clock circuits. And clock circuits are actually unstable redstone circuits. So I'm going to turn this on. And we'll see it go off and on, and at the end it will burn out. So this is an unstable redstone circuit. It's going too fast for the redstone torch to follow. And yeah, it burns out for security reasons. Otherwise it can really consume some RAM of your computer. Oh, turn this off. Here you can see a 3 clock. This was in 1 clock actually. Here's a 3 clock. It works exactly the same, an uneven amount of NOT gates. And right now it's working, and sometimes it can burn out, they say on the wiki. But I've never seen it as long as I tested. Maybe it's going to burn out now. Or maybe in 30 seconds. But it's not really stable, so it can burn out just like the other one did. Now, next is a 5 clock circuit, and my computer's going slowly. That's better. And actually this one is a lot more stable than the previous one. As you can see here, the redstone lamp is going off and on, just as you would expect. This one is also unstable but will not burn out. It's easy to create some lights that are like a disco or something like that. It's really easy. You can also make a clock circuit by using a repeater. Once again, this will burn out because the delay is set to minimum. But if I create a 4-tick delay, you can see it like this. It works just as you would expect. You can stop it again. Burns out. Stuff like that. It's always in the same time. You can also create stuff like this. If you can see it. If I do this right now, it will burn out. If I do this, I hope it's working. Now it's going to burn out all the time. It's really funny actually. Things you can do with redstone, but it's not really useful. Now the last thing I want to show you is a combination of a lot of things. And I've never seen it on a wiki before, and it's really useful to create something change. So first of all you want to get the left thing to open, and then the right thing, and then the left thing again, stuff like that. So with this one I can turn on the system, and what this does is that it powers this redstone, and then it gets inverted back again. And the reason why this one is still powered is because it's still powered because it's turned off, actually. Turned off here. This one isn't, as it is inverted right here. So what this does is that it's going to be night time again. It's going to be a long tutorial, so it would be a lot quicker. So with this one I can enable the circuit and disable the circuit. Oh, stupid thing. Just like you can see here, now it's turned up, both lights. But with this one I can choose which light is turned on. And it's really useful. I've used it once in a Redstone mechanic for a game called Connect 4, and I'm going to release it soon on YouTube. But I need to rebuild it because I lost a save. And the reason why this one works is actually quite simple. It gets inverted here, and here it gets floated. So every time you change this lever, you can see that these torches, these two here, are going to change state. And this way you can change which glowstone block is going to emit light. So really useful. All of this is redstone mechanics, redstone really basics. I hope you learned a lot about redstone in this video tutorial, and I hope I can see you next time. Comment, rate, subscribe, I don't care what you do. Maybe you can show your friends that will learn how you learned redstone with this video. And if you don't like rating or subscribing, I don't mind. I will keep on creating these videos for you guys to help you, and of course to see what you can build with it. If this tutorial helped you, give it a comment and show you what you have built. So see you next time, maybe for my Connect forum, maybe for another video. We'll see. See ya.